May the eyes of the tyrants never taste rest. How many nights have you laid awake, tossing and turning in helpless sorrow, tormented by the thought of cowards clothed in expensive suits, who unleash bombs upon the innocent while hiding behind their false authority? And how many nights have been stolen from the men, women, and children who endure fire, torture, and unimaginable pain at the hands of merciless oppressors who parade themselves as leaders? Sometimes you look at these figures of corruption and cruelty and wish that it was they who were kept awake in agony, that it was their eyes that could no longer close in peace. May the eye of the coward never rest. These words were once uttered by the noble warrior of Islam, Khalid ibn al-Walid, may Allah be pleased with him, on his deathbed. Though he spoke them in a particular context of his time, many of us find ourselves whispering the same prayer today when we see the crimes of modern tyrants unfold before our very eyes. And then a question arises within your soul: am I sinful for feeling this way? For wanting those who cause so much destruction and grief to be broken by the same pain they inflicted on others? Often we wish not only that the victims are embraced in the mercy of their Lord, but that those who committed atrocities are exposed to justice, whether in this life or the next. Do not think you are alone in this internal struggle. Every heart that loves truth sways between the weight of sorrow for the oppressed and the fire of anger against their oppressors. Even the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, who was sent as a mercy to all of creation, had moments where he prayed against those who had turned the earth into a field of blood and oppression. But there is something profound about Barzakh, the realm that comes after death and before resurrection. It speaks to both grief and anger at once. It consoles the sadness of the believer, reminding us that divine justice is not delayed but already unfolding, and it directs the burning rage by assuring us that those who cause ruin have not escaped the reach of the Almighty. On the night before the famous Battle of Yamāmah, many of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ who were destined for martyrdom experienced vivid dreams. Among them was ʿAbbād ibn Bishr, may Allah be pleased with him. He awoke and told his companions, "Last night I saw the heavens open above me and my soul ascended into them. Then they closed shut after I entered." That vision was soon realized. When he fell in the battle, his body so mutilated that only a distinct birthmark revealed his identity. Another companion, Tufayl ibn Āmr, may Allah be pleased with him, had a dream even more striking. He said, "I saw that I was beheaded, and when my head was severed, a bird emerged from my mouth and flew towards a woman. The woman took that bird and placed it within her womb. Then I saw my son chasing me, trying to catch me, but he could not reach me." He interpreted his vision: "The beheading is my fate in the battle. The bird is my soul, and the woman is the earth that will embrace me as I am buried within it. My son, though he fights beside me, will survive and search for me, but he will not join me in martyrdom." And indeed, events unfolded exactly as he described. He was struck down, beheaded, and buried, while his son lived on. Why recall such scenes of blood and sacrifice? Because our times are filled with images even more graphic. Our eyes have been forced to witness in a single year what once might have filled a lifetime. And yet, there is a haunting familiarity to it all. Look at Gaza, its people have turned to art to depict flowers where heads were taken, to soften the cruelty of reality for their children. And so we must ask, how many Tufayls lie in Gaza? How many ʿAbbāds, how many martyrs, whose names we may never know, have now joined the ranks of the shuhada we grew up reading about? And like the son of Tufayl, who stood searching for his father on the battlefield, we are left behind, asking, what has become of our martyrs now? The martyrs have a message. The Prophet ﷺ told us that the souls of those slain at Uhud men, whose bodies were torn and disfigured, were placed by Allah into the bodies of green birds. These birds descend upon the rivers of paradise, drink from them, eat from its fruits, and rest upon golden lamps that hang from beneath the throne of the Most Merciful. Allah Himself speaks to them, comforts them, reassures them, and when they taste the sweetness of their reward, they cry out in longing, O Lord, who will inform our families that we are alive, provided for by you, so that they too may remain steadfast and not falter in their struggle? Their plea was not only for their comfort, it was to strengthen us. So Allah the Most High declared, I, myself, will tell them. And it was then that the verse was revealed, do not think of those who are slain in the path of Allah as dead. Rather, they are alive, with their Lord, receiving provision. The martyrs of Uhud and the martyrs of Gaza are united in this verse. They want us to know they are not lost, they are with their Lord. They are alive in a way more real than our existence. Think of the martyrdom of Asiya, the believing wife of Pharaoh. As she was tortured to death, she raised her eyes to the heavens and prayed, my Lord, build for me a house with you in paradise. Notice her words. Before she asked for the palace, she asked for nearness with you, my Lord. And Allah answered. Likewise, the Qur'an affirms, the martyrs are with their Lord. They are not merely given paradise, they are given His nearness. And they are not alone. They are together across time and generations. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated that the souls of martyrs roam like guests, recognizing one another, conversing, eating from the fruits of Jannah. Imagine it. The martyrs of Gaza meeting those of Bosnia, the martyrs of Kashmiri sitting with the martyrs of Srebrenica, the martyrs of the Rohingya embraced by the martyrs of Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. Picture those who were massacred in the Nakba now receiving the newly fallen of Palestine. See them flying beside one another, birds of freedom released from the cages of this world. And all of them gathered to meet the earliest martyrs. Sumayya, the first to give her life for Islam. Hamza, the Lion of Allah. Jafar al-Tayyar, who flies with wings in paradise. Can you imagine Hamza welcoming the countless children named Hamza who fell in Gaza, saying to them, you carry my name, and now you carry my honor. They are called shuhada, witnesses, not only because Allah witnesses their sacrifice, but because the instant they die, they witness the reward awaiting them. Think of the images that haunt us, the broken bodies under rubble, the torn limbs on our screens. We ask, what unimaginable pain did they endure? But the Prophet ﷺ taught us that the martyr feels no more pain at the moment of death than the prick of a small thorn. By the time we weep thinking of their agony, Allah has already replaced it with a joy beyond description. While the believer normally faces questioning in the grave, the martyr is spared. The clash of swords above their heads was enough of a trial. And beyond that, each martyr is granted intercession for 70 of their relatives so that the families who bore the pain of losing them are honored through their sacrifice. But then we ask, what of the tyrants, the Jabbareen, who inflicted these horrors? Why do they appear to live long, comfortable lives, dying in their beds while the righteous die young? Here too, Barzakh answers, Allah does not neglect the oppressor. He delays, only to seize with greater severity. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah may delay the oppressor, but when He seizes him, He does not release him. And so, though we may see the tyrant reclining in palaces, attended by servants, surrounded by physicians at the hour of death, no one can shield him from what descends. The extraction of his soul is torture, squeezed and torn until he writhes in agony. And where the grave opens wide to embrace the martyr, it crushes upon the tyrant until his ribs interlock. Those who crushed others under rubble are themselves crushed in darkness. It is no coincidence that the Qur'an's only direct mention of punishment in the grave is about the greatest tyrant of all, Pharaoh. Allah says, the fire, they are exposed to it morning and evening. And on the day when the hour is established, it will be said, make the people of Pharaoh enter the severest torment. Morning and evening, every day their torment increases. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, used to remind himself daily. Each morning he would say, the night has passed, the day has come, and the people of Pharaoh are presented to the fire. And each evening he would repeat, the day has gone, the night has come, and the people of Pharaoh are presented to the fire. While you awaken each day praising Allah for His blessings, they awaken in fire. While you end your day in remembrance, they end theirs in punishment. And it is not just Pharaoh. The verse mentions the people of Pharaoh, a phrase many scholars explain to mean not only his followers of the past, but every tyrant who walks in his path until the end of time. They are opposites of the martyrs. Where the martyr gave his life for something beyond himself, the tyrant devoted his life to inflating his own ego, and so Allah humiliates them utterly. The Prophet ﷺ said that the arrogant and the tyrants will be gathered on the Day of Judgment as tiny insects trampled under the feet of the people for all to see their disgrace. And while the martyrs will be crowned with diadems brighter than the sun, the crowns of arrogance, once worn by the tyrants, will be replaced with shackles of humiliation. The tyrants themselves beg Allah to delay the hour, because they know that what they suffer in the grave is only the beginning. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ described the day when Allah will take the heavens and earth in His grasp, saying, I am al-Jabbar, I am al-Malik. Where are the tyrants now? Where are the arrogant? And the Prophet ﷺ repeated it with such force from the pulpit that it shook beneath him, and the companions feared it might collapse. Such is the wrath of the All-Powerful against those who oppressed His creation. And what of the families left behind in grief? The martyrs will intercede for them, leading 70 relatives to paradise by Allah's permission. Reflect on Gaza. How many families there have not given a martyr? Almost every household has. Can you then imagine the vast portion of paradise that belongs to Gaza? Our eyes see destruction, but our faith knows that their graves have become gardens, their ashes have become crowns, their tears have become rivers. Do not think that consolation in al-Barzakh removes from us the duty of justice here. Knowing the martyrs are rewarded does not free us from standing with the oppressed who still breathe. Knowing the tyrants are punished does not absolve us from struggling against them while they still walk this earth. The oppressed are honored by Allah, but our duty is to confront their oppressors with whatever means we are given. That is why the Qur'an speaks of the companions of the ditch, ʿAmr salam anhum. Their bodies burned in flames, but instantly transformed into gardens of Jannah. That is why the Prophet ﷺ on the night journey smelled the fragrance of the hairdresser of Pharaoh's daughter who was cast into fire. Their pain was temporary, their reward eternal. So let it be clear, our graves are gardens, their palaces are prisons of fire. Our martyrs ascend, their tyrants are dragged down. Our ending is victory, their ending is humiliation. Our protector is Allah, and they have no protector.